beautiful people, to another episode of Sweet Millionaire Formula, the podcast where we mix money goals with Hollywood drama and drop gems like it's hot. I'm your host, Money Mona, Budget Bae by Day, and I'm here to help you secure the bag without losing your edges or your mind, period. Let's talk money, mess, and millionaire moves. Here's what we got on the agenda today. The attack of Klarna and the vicious aftermath of its high interest rates, naming your bills before your paycheck comes, and the man, the myth, the legend, Kai Cenat and Streamer University. Grab that drink, sis, or your pen. We're about to get into it. So let's talk about how I was walking and doing my daily exercises, and while I'm walking back, these two boys were in front of me, and he's like, "Oh, how you doing, ma'am?" I'm like, "Hi, I'm doing good." He's like, "Wow, you look so beautiful." He's like, "I know you." He's like, "Are you my age?" I was like, "Well, how old are you?" I was like, "How old do I look?" He was like, "I don't know, you like 27." I was like, "I'm 32." He was like, "Well, you look good for your age." And so we just talking and, just walking. And I thought it was just so funny that, I'm like, "I mentor boys y'all age." He's like, "You mentor us how? Like, what can you help with?" He's like, "I make music." I'm like, "Well, I have a podcast." And so then he's like, "Well, can I follow your podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You guys need to be able to build generational wealth for yourselves and be able to open up a barbershop. Y'all wasn't dealt the perfect hand, and so I think that it's important for people like me to do the groundwork so that you guys have an opportunity." He was like, "Oh, I respect that. I respect that." He's like, "What's your podcast?" So we go back and forth, exchange information, and I just felt moved to get them 2 books out of my car, and it's just so great that in that moment, these young men who seemingly just giving me a compliment, I might have just changed their lives. And I'm sitting here like, if I didn't have tangible books to give them or my podcast as a means of expressing deeper how serious as I am about building generational wealth, how would they know what their next steps would be and what that and what that process of getting from point A to point B looks like? And I just think it's very pivotal that in life you have a purpose, and even though it may not pay thousands and millions of dollars, purpose is impactful and money is temporary. I think what you bind on earth, you bind in heaven. What you loose on earth, you loose in heaven. Those people that I prayed for over these years, the people that I've blessed over the years, the people that have blessed me, I am only being a revolving door for the amount of blessings that I've received to be where I am thus far. And I think that is super imperative. And it just was so exciting to me for these young kids, not for us not to know each other from anywhere, but when we start talking about money, they turn and they pay attention to what I had to say, and they wanted to, because they heard how serious. I'm like, you couldn't be opening up about a salon, a barbershop. You could be going back to hair school, but if you don't start with school, or you don't start somewhere where you planted solid on your own 2 feet, you don't have nothing to build from. So you got to start somewhere. And I think it's pivotal that that you have the opportunity to have access to business credit, access to funding. If you open up an LLC and boost your credit score once you get paid every 2 weeks, put money into building your credit score. And this is just small talk, just 10 minutes of their time. And they were just sitting there, mouths on the floor. They had completely stopped talking just to hear what I had to say. And I'm just thinking it's super vital and important, not only to have the book, not only to have the podcast, not only to be an advocate for financial building generational wealth, but I lost my brother because we didn't have this information. So I am indebted to building generational wealth by any means necessary. But super excited for those young men. They had a spark in their eyes after we just were talking for that couple of minutes. And I just thought that, Courtney, you doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing what you're supposed to do. And I love that. That's what I mean. Nobody could pay me any amount of money to do what I'm doing, because this is a purpose. It's embedded from the pain, and the results of the purpose are literally the fruits of my labor. So super excited. Let's get into today's episode. Meet y'all at this first segment. Segment 1, stack your paper. Now we're going to do an exercise, and I want you guys to do it with me. And that is to stack your receipts for a full week. So every time that you spend money during the week, I want you to stack your receipts, put them in an envelope, and at the end of the week, put that envelope, split it into the sections like food, hair, miscellaneous, out to eat, whatever sections that you do during the week. You can split that envelope up into 6 different sections and see where your money is going, right? And then once you know where your money is going, we're going to put this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put 10% of that money that we spent that week, find one area on there. Like I would say, eating out is a big thing. So I would pick one restaurant or whatever the case that you think you're gonna go to, and instead of going there, deposit that money into a stock. Buy a stock from your Fidelity account. And I'm challenging everybody who's listening to the podcast. I'm challenging you this week to invest in a stock. What stock do I suggest investing in? If you haven't, put that $3,000 into a Vanguard index fund. If you don't have it, you don't know what a Vanguard index fund, it's okay. We're going to start small and we're going to see there's companies like Prologis. Did y'all know that there's technology companies that house big data computers? Like say if we're all on Facebook or whatever the case, there's a central location or building. Like even for Amazon, there's a central location, and I ride past it every time I go to New York. It's called Prologis, and it is a dividend company that pays you back dividends, monthly dividends on your money that you deposit into that stock, or if you deposit into that Fidelity account, and you looking for a company that's going to pay you every single month, then I would suggest you put your money. Oh my gosh, I would suggest you put your money into a stock. Okay, if I had to tell you how much that dividend, if I had to tell you how much dividends that Prologis is paying right now, they're paying $4 per share dividends with a 3.7% dividend pay every 3 months. For the next dividend date is going to be, the next dividend date is going to be June 17th, but they pay out dividends. So basically what I mean by they pay out is a portion, 3% of the money that you invested will be able to be paid back to you in a dividend. With Fidelity, you can have a drip method where you allow the money that is coming from the dividends to be reinvested back into that stock. So it's really good that a way that you want to stack your paper is by investing in stocks. You don't necessarily have to, go out there and try to like buy all of this stuff to start a company. Sometimes you building your money in a slow and steady manner is what like gets you there. And I think that having you guys to start this week as a challenge, super impactful. And I cannot wait to see all the comments and all of the responses as where y'all money is going this week and what y'all spent y'all money on. So I'm super excited. But one thing I would invest in, Prologis, because it's a dividend account. And every time that you take, I would say $50, $60 out of your account and deposit it into that stock automatically, you will receive dividends on it. Not all stocks are dividend paying stocks. So I would look into the ones like real estate, investment stock that pays dividends, because the real estate, these are what people call REITs. You hear people talking about REITs. They're talking about real estate investment trusts. And so these are stocks that are in the S&P 500. And so if you want to generate income and dividends on your investment, I would highly suggest you guys go with that option of like the real estate investment trust, because there's plenty of them across the board. And how companies like Amazon, Facebook need houses to pack all of this information that they run through systems. It's literally a building for technology, just the computer part of database storage. And those are going to always make money and make dividends and be an investable company. So I would highly suggest you look into dividend paying stocks or invest into like companies that you use already. If you want to invest in Target, you can, but right now Target's stock is definitely depleting. It's not a dividend paying stock. But what I would suggest is there's a bear and a bull market. Right now they're in a bear market because nobody's investing in them, so their shares are like pennies on a dollar. But if Target makes a turnaround, then that stock that you're buying for $40 right now can shoot up easily to $140, and then you made 150% gains on that $40, because once they go back up, you're reaping all the benefits of those stocks. So I super suggest you guys stop shying away from investing in stocks, get into your stock bag. Let's head on over to segment 2. Segment 2, spill the wealth. And baby, one person who needs to spill the wealth, who I highly adore, Kai Cenat. But once he did the Streamer University, and I found myself on Streamer University, I'm watching Streamer University, and I was thoroughly entertained, and not in a bored way. The what Kai Cenat has done with streaming almost has been seemingly overnight. When I watch his videos and see that he's been doing this for over 10 years, trying to get to this level and him actually be at the level that he's at. And let's just highlight some of the things that he's done. In 2023, Kai Cenat broke records, becoming the most subscribed streamer in Twitch history with over 300,000 subscribers, active subscribers during a month-long subathon. He blends humor, music, fashion, and gaming, creating a blueprint for the new wave of Black streamers and content creators. Kai Cenat has collaborated with artists like 21 Savage, Ice Spice, Little Baby, Nicki Minaj, live, merging the music and the streaming world. And he has a YouTube reach beyond Twitch, which pulls in millions of views through vlogs, pranks, and behind the scenes lifestyle content every single month. Have you ever felt like that's for them young kids? Honestly, when I think about Instagram, I was at Howard University my freshman year, and Twitter had just came out, and Instagram, I still hadn't even known what Instagram was for like 2 or 3 years after Instagram came out. But the interface of Instagram was so right now it seems outdated, but the interface of Instagram, I remember that blue chunky piece that had your name on it. I remember the icons and how they looked. It looked great to us. It looked like something new to us. And it was brown. Instagram was brown, like a camera, like a Polaroid camera. And it's just so funny how in 10 years, this evolution of technology, even through the last 6 years or 7 years ago when the pandemic happened and all of those digital entrepreneurs that came out of the pandemic, I was not focused on it, but it didn't really pique my interest because I'm like, I don't have the money to invest in a business, so why would I watch people who invest into a business? And then I never thought about Instagram being a stream of income or anything that I had to take seriously because I was making my actual money. Like when I was selling my book out the trunk of my car. I had a book release. It wasn't until I had my book release and got notoriety from the newspapers and things like that, that's when my sales started to really pick up. And I think that for me, if I'm going to be honest with y'all, what is more impactful is the actual interactions that I have when I do my seminars at the libraries, when I'm connecting with the people in actual real life. When I did a seminar recently at the McGregor, not the McGregor Nursing Home, I'm sorry, I'm not even in Cleveland, but I did it at the Sunrise, and it was for the employees, and it was basically giving the employees knowledge on how to invest in their 401k, what are their do's and don'ts, and just giving them the information and letting them take the information and ask me questions accordingly. But I think that it's important that you know that the digital era is not slowing down. And if you think that you're going to be one of those people who are not having to brand yourself, advocate for yourself, speak up, create a digital presence, you're going to be one of those people that's complaining, they ain't never, yeah, you can say that, but we know that digital technology is the new wave. It's the new life. It's the new way of generating income for yourself. It's almost like a resume, if I'm being honest, because people really want to know and see what you're doing in the community. And for me, Sweet Millionaire Formula is a 3-dimensional impact company because not only do I plan and email and set up to, be a mentor at the Boys and Girls Club, be a mentor at the Rise Gentlemen's Entrepreneur Group, but I have to put in the work and think about the picture of what I saw when I wrote this down, and writing the book, plus creating the proposal for my plan, plus using a podcast as a way to reach my audience, plus there is no easy corner that you can cut when you're building a company, building a business, building a brand. Anything anything that is worth having takes hard work. And so I don't despise the digital eruption. But what Kai Cenat did with Streamer University, he really changed the education that's necessary and needed for streamers. He was groundbreaking, and this had never been done before. He's trademarking the name and the concept. But what stood out to me more than anything is the amount of sense and intelligence that this boy has effortlessly. Okay? He has intellect and common sense that is so pure. It's so easy. But he turned down deals from Amazon, Tubi, YouTube, and he allowed Streaming University to be its own concept. So even though it wasn't a formal school, his streaming and content offers educational takeaways for aspiring creators. One of the things that I saw was like consistency wins. He streams often. He edits regularly and he engages with his audience daily. He knows his brand from slang to fashion. Everything about Kai, it just feels authentic. He collabs over competing. So his rise is built on community, collaborations, and networking, not isolation. Entertainment as education. He's teaching through doing, modeling how to build an empire through personality, hustle, and content strategy. And he adapts to trends from IRL streams to viral challenges. Kai evolves quickly, a key trait for any content creator. So when he did Subathon, when he's doing Streaming University, you have people doing like the Shade of Frost and his sister Brooklyn. They're doing subathons and things like that. He's creating a authentic demand for his authentic personality. And I think that his hustle and his content strategy, not only does it bring, I want to read to you guys some of the facts about what his Twitch and why you should be privy to understanding that you building a digital brand, a digital school, a digital impact is important to you. Not only bringing in a second form of income, because your second form of income can fund your second form of income can fund your life insurance plan. Your second form of income can funnel and be used for your stock investments, your Vanguard investments. It can be used as a vehicle for your credit unions. All these different avenues for you to be able to multiply where it is that you earn money without you having to necessarily work. We're not saying don't work, but I'm saying you have to know how to be able to generate 2, 3, 4 times your passive income ratio outside of your active income ratio. Two different things, but they're both need to be funneled. And when you're able to maximize a personal brand on a digital platform, then you're able to generate these types of monies. So you're building wealth, you're living your life, you're living in purpose, but you're also doing things that benefit the community, because I'm pretty sure your purpose or your passive income ratio will be increasing the more impact that you make. And it doesn't necessarily have to start with you making money, but I think putting yourself, like I said, making those proposals for a Sweet Millionaire Formula for us to go speak at the boys mentoring camp. Very simple thing, but I see that Black boys are a underserved community, and them having a knowledge and that organization being able to pay for 50 of my books. Not only is that a $4,000 or $5,000 check, but that $4,000 or $5,000 allows me to buy more stocks, more equity. It allows me to be able to interview more people. It allows me to take my equipment and be able to go to where people are and have these engaging conversations, so that you guys are exposed to these avenues of building money, building generational wealth. And I thought it was very important because he had an impact on me with the Streaming University. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still watching some of the stuff from Streaming University, and I'm still watching artists that I had followed or that I originally didn't see on Streaming University. So I'm finding myself digging through, trying to, find out more. And it's actually so entertaining to watch them. I don't know. And I question myself, like, why are you watching it? But I'm entertained, and that's what entertainment is. And so I'm super proud of Kai Cenat, and I just wanted to highlight again some of the average incomes of top streamers like Kai Cenat. So a monthly revenue for Kai Cenat, his Twitch subs can bring in 400,000 to 500,000 plus in income. His YouTube ads and sponsorships bring in anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 a month. Brand deals and merch anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000 a month. In total, roughly, he could be making anywhere from $1 to $12 million during a peak month. During 2025, his net worth is at $15 million. And that's not an exact number because I'm pretty sure he's worth more than that. But he doesn't brag about numbers, and he keeps things authentic, which allows people to enjoy him for him instead of trying to pocket watch and break him apart and take him down based on the amount of money he gets. He never mentions his money, and I think that that's super smart for Kai. So shout out to Kai for breaking barriers and doing a new thing in the world. I love to see it, and I think it's so much more to come for that young king. So get on your digital platforms, generate passive income ratio, and let your personal brand bring you purpose and money. Segment 3, millionaire moves. Now, we're going to get into this segment, and I'm super excited because Keke Palmer is the epitome of Keep a Bag Keke Palmer. Okay, that's her name. Her name is Keep a Bag Keke Palmer. And Keke Palmer she's not only a influential powerhouse from Akilah and the Bee, but Keke Palmer, she's not just an actress anymore. Keke Palmer has entered her entrepreneur force era. She's built Key TV and her own production labels to carefully curate a valuable real estate portfolio and executive roles. She's channeling her earnings toward long-term asset ownership and infrastructure rather than short-lived expenses. Net worth estimates fluctuate, but her strategic financial mindset, from early millionaire status to resilient after her own bankruptcy, demonstrates a clear mission: creating legacy wealth, not just celebrity income. So, Keke Palmer became a millionaire at the age of 12, and her parents put her money into a Kungan account, which is a protected account for stars, and it allows them to deposit money into their own accounts over time. So, with her she always talks about her story, how she became a millionaire and started taking care of her family at a young age. And I think it's imperative that we understand that Keke is a unicorn, but it doesn't mean that we cannot allow our children to build wealth, because I can guarantee you when my child turns 18, she's not going to have to buy a car. She's going to be making those payments that she would make on a car. She's going to be making them on a house. She's going to be putting down for her first condo. So when she graduates college, she'll be able to move into her condo. It's just simple. It's small things, but they are very effective, and they are very much what separates those who continue to live in generational degradation versus generational wealth. And I think what stood out to me and what really attracted me to Keke Palmer this year in particular, because she's been talking about investments, she's been talking about business. I'm a business, investments, and money girl, so I love that she has taken her own money and she's built assets. In 2021, she launched a Key TV network with $500,000 along with E1 deal to build her own digital network spotlighting underrepresented creators. And by November 2022, the channel quickly surpassed 762,000 subscribers on YouTube in just 3 months. So she knows her audience. She knows what her audience needs, and she has created an asset that allows her to generate wealth off of that personal investment, creating her own digital platform. So she has Big Boss Productions, and Big Boss Productions, and watch out for Keke Palmer, is also one of her producer, film, and TV content creating platforms as well. So she's leveraging her equity rather than merging earning performance fees. It's not like she's like, oh, I'll be in your commercial for X amount of money. She's like, no, Big Boss Productions will shoot the commercial, and we'll earn equity off of our own production team coming in and shooting that whole thing. Isn't it so great to go from leasing to owning, from begging to borrowing? I love it. I love this idea that you can change your mind and you can be an owner, an investor, a key boss, and building your own platforms. And that's super exciting, because with her taking that $500,000 and investing into her own platform, Key TV network, she's, like she said, she's representing underrepresented people, underrepresented creators, and that spotlight that she's able to curate on these different creators is going to launch different careers, and they're going to continue to pour back into the Key Productions company, Key TV company, the Big Boss company. And I think that her creating this now, so that in 10, 15, 20 years from now, these same creators are doing the exact same thing that she's doing. And now they have the careers to funnel those passive income ratios. right? So we're going to always get back to ownership. We're going to always get back into investments. And I think that it's imperative that if you're going to be an owner of something, own something. Don't just say, "Oh, I wish I could. I wish." Like the complaining and excuses. Who needs that? Who cares about it? Where has it taken you? Nowhere. So we're gonna do the optimistic thing and decide to change our mindsets, open those accounts, be a boss in your own right, create a passion that you can start to do a 3-dimensional impact with. That's what Sweet Millionaire Formula is. When you guys are not hearing me on here, I'm actually, putting my books in libraries. I'm actually ordering new material for my next seminar. And so my next thing that I'm going to be doing with Sweet Millionaire Formula is going after corporate accounts to speak the same information to corporate millennials. So I have a total big old mindset for Sweet Millionaire Formula, and this is only what is a result of what happened when I created the brand on paper. And so now I'm getting to live those small things out. And I think that when you're willing to do things and not necessarily be like, "Oh, I need to get the money from this," or, "Oh, I need to get the money from that." When you're able to just do what you love and enjoy, there is no imminent no issue that will cause you to be able to like not have this fulfilling life. But when you're able to be passionate and purposeful about what you're creating, what you're doing, and then stand on it and collaborate with other people, you have to do nothing but see it blossom and grow. So I'm super excited, and I can't wait for you guys to earn that passive income ratio. Woo! We went over a lot today. So just here's a recap. Klarna and Afterpay will attack you with interest rates. Digital media is not going anywhere. So you either be like Kai Cenat and set trends, get on board, or you're going to fall by the wayside, because digital imprint is your new resume. And building wealth like Kiki Palmer by having ownership and then betting on your ownership with these 3-dimensional investments: production, film, TV, radio. These are all things that you can create for yourself. So follow us and rate us number 5 on the Spotify platform, on Instagram, on YouTube. Leave a comment and DM me your favorite celeb moment at Sweet Millionaire Formula. Next week, we're talking about a whole array of things. So I can't wait to see you guys back. Until then, stack it, save it, and protect your peace in your pockets. Peace!